Hi everyone. Hi everyone. I'm going to wait a couple minutes until a few more people join and then we'll go ahead and get started with today's little session. We're going to have Brianna from GSEC, which is Gender and Sexual Equity Coalition at Chico State, come join us and tell us a little bit more about what that program is about. Okay, let's see if she's joined. Let me see. Perfect. So while we're waiting for Chico State GSEC to join, so tribal relations was also supposed to be a part of this little get together here, and they won't be able to join us today, but if any of you were looking for information on tribal relations, you can go to csuchico.edu/tribal relations, and all of their contact information is on there. I pulled the website up, and they are offering Zoom hours Tuesday through Thursday from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. if any of you have questions about the type of resources they are providing. And the Office of Tribal Relations serves as a connection for Chico State campus to provide access, resources, and support for our Native American students. So if you're interested in that, please go get more information on our website. But without further ado, we have Bree here to tell us about GSEC. So Brianna, could you go ahead and introduce yourself and the program that you represent on campus?
Yes. Hello. My name is Bree. I use she, her, hers pronouns. I'm the GSEC program director this year, along with my two other colleagues, Camila, who is a program director, and then Abe, who is also a program director. So that's kind of the structure of the staff there, and we're actually currently looking for interns to join us through a 3-unit internship. So soon in the coming weeks, we're also going to have more people joining our team, and maybe y'all could be a part of that team.
That's awesome. Where do people who are interested in becoming interns apply?
So right now, in our bio on Instagram, there's a link to the application, which you can just submit via email to me on the gsec.director@csuchico.edu email, or on Handshake. You can apply through there if that's easier for people to find us.
Awesome. Okay, cool. All right, so what type of services does GSEC offer?
So the GSEC is a pretty cool organization, I would say. It's a student-run activist organization. That means all of the decision-making, all the planning and event programming is all made up by interns every year and the staff itself. So we offer, like I said, that 3-unit internship. Usually if the campus was open, a lot of our services are in person, I would say. So like we are known to be like the station area where you can grab like free contraceptives, free menstrual products. We also usually carry free pregnancy tests, lots of brochures with information about sexual and reproductive health. We also have community resources and references. So we have a pretty big pile of brochures to local organizations. So like Women's Resource Specialist here in town, the Stonewall Alliance Center, Catalyst. A lot of our neighbors in the community bring pamphlets where they offer their services. So we kind of refer people to those services from campus to the rest of the community. We also have a library that has multicultural and gender studies textbooks that students can come in and use for research or references. If they just want a quiet space to sit in and also study, we have the Rainbow Room available for that. It's also a safe place to breastfeed and just take a nap, honestly, and hang out. And sadly, it's not open this year, but if, you know, in the future, when we are open, it's definitely a place we love to have students there all the time. And we also have LGBTQ plus and feminist merch that we sell. So like we're really known for our quirky kind of buttons that we have. We also have like GSEC shirts. We have like tote bags, flags that we sell. Around vagina monologues, we sell cupcakes that have little vulvas on them. So a lot of it is merch that empowers other people.
Yeah, I remember going my freshman year to Vagina Monologues and being completely mind blown. One of my old supervisors actually was in it, so that was pretty awesome to watch. I didn't know about the Rainbow Room. I didn't know we had a place on campus where people could go breastfeed if they needed to. That's awesome. I didn't introduce myself at the beginning, but I am a public health and nutrition and food science major. So I love all of that. I love that we provide a space like that on campus for when school is on campus.
Mm-hmm.
So who is able to use all of those types of resources? Just students or faculty or anyone?
Everyone, honestly, even if it's a community member walking through the door and isn't tied to Chico State, we're not going to shut the door on you. We are there to serve, I mean, of course, the student population and promote inclusivity and empower all students' voices. So I guess our main function, like our main flow of people would be students, but staff have reached out. We've done ally trainings or conversations in certain classes. Like if a certain class is talking about, like for instance, your health class would be talking about reproductive health, like we would come in and probably like show them how to use products. And so it really depends on the situation, but I mean, we're multi-purpose, I would like to say. Like we kind of get around and do everything that we can on campus. And it would be more so like definitely students we see all the time. They are coming in for services if it's not a referral or like our direct merch and stuff like that.
Awesome. And that's funny that you mentioned GSEC coming into our classroom, because actually I did have multiple representatives from GSEC come and do like little talks at the beginning of class and some of my health.
That's glad to hear that.
Right. So when should people contact GSEC, or how people contact GSEC?
Usually I would say come on in, walk into the office. We're an open door whenever. We're usually our office hours 5 to 10. But now I would say probably via Instagram is where you're going to hear from us the most. From what we see, it's probably the most accessible platform for most students. We do have a Twitter, we do have a Facebook. So if you ever have any questions, feel free to direct message us. But I would say via email also is pretty helpful. We have a webpage through the Multicultural and Gender Studies. So there's more information on there if you want to like get to know like certain staff members or like email them personally for any event planning and stuff like that.
So just kind of to piggyback off of what you just said in terms of like how students would contact you now, what experience will students be having this fall with services moving virtually?
Yeah, that's a great question. And honestly, we're going virtual. Everything we're doing this year, we have decided to move on to a digital platform. So meaning like all of our conferences will be through Zoom, if not a different platform. Our programming events will all be online. So like our most upcoming one is on September 24th from 2 to 4. It's the LGBTQ welcome reception. That's going to be on Zoom. There's going to be different orgs there providing information about how they help students within the LGBTQ community feel included on campus. And also like our following event that we're planning on right now is actually Queer Week. And so that's in October, it's a month from now, but that whole week we're in collaboration with other orgs on campus, and we're going to be hosting National Coming Out Day, which is on October 11th, and we're planning to have a virtual drag show. So if y'all have time on that Sunday, you can definitely join us and, you know, make some popcorn, sit at home on your couch, and just join us for this fun live interactive event.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've actually been to the drag show as well when it was on campus. Really fun. I know in the past, the drag show kind of like, is it free for students? Because I know in the past, like you collected like a ticket fee, but then that went to an organization. Is there anything kind of like in that realm this year or no?
Great question. No, we're pretty much doing all of our programming free this year. We understand that to begin with, like technology might not be accessible to everyone. So just having the ability to have a free service to watch to get your mind off of classes sometimes, that's what we want to provide. That's the kind of service we're kind of focusing on this year. So we're hoping that by having a free programming event, all students can join us.
Awesome. Awesome. That's great to hear. So, is there anything else you wanted to talk about your program? Anything else you feel like you would like to share about GSEC?
Yeah, I would mention, I guess, some of the things you should see on our Instagram to come. We're hoping that once we have interns, they can follow a weekly Instagram takeover, so you get to see what the life of an intern at GSEC is like. Also, you know, it's gonna catch us up on what work we're doing. And we're also hoping to start up some live discussions on Instagram Live, just similar like this, in between interns, so that they can discuss current events that are impacting both all of the communities that we serve. So that meaning like racial communities, LGBTQ communities, disabled communities, like the climate change, and like all of the folks. We're basically going to be covering everything, and we're going to bring voice to all the people who feel like they're marginalized currently right now in our system. So we're hoping that those current events highlight the work of those people.
That's awesome. And then I know you can't read the chat. Someone said, great job, and accessibility is amazing. So the fact that you are, you know, making it accessible to a lot of people is great. So kudos to you for that, or GSEC, I should say, for that. So that was actually, I think, a majority of what I had already written out. If any of you watching have any questions, we can wait a couple minutes, see if any of you have any questions. But basically, kind of the gist of what I got is the best way to contact GSEC or a member of GSEC is through the social media platforms, which is Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, correct?
Yeah, if not, our emails are also listed online.
Okay, at CSU, on the
Yeah.
multicultural gender studies page.
Yes.
Awesome. Great. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to watching some of GSEC's own program lives. And thank you, and I will let you know if anybody had any questions and reached out to admission those to GSEC. But thank you so much for your time, and have a good rest of your evening, Bree.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And I would just say, like, look out for that. Like I said, Queer Week. We're gonna have Trans Week of Resilience, and also the Women's Conference this fall.
Awesome. All those dates will be posted too, right?
Yes, definitely. So follow us on Instagram. That's where you'll get the most updated stuff.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right. Well, I don't see any questions, and Bree was so kind, so awesome, and like she said, make sure you are staying connected through GSEC's social medias on the school website. They have a lot of fun events planned for the fall semester, even if it's all virtual. Just means hopefully it's a lot more accessible for certain people. But thank you everyone for joining, and have a good rest of your week.